Hello. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about my experience in using AI chatbots for introspection and understanding myself better. This is a very recent development in my personal life, and I do not yet have a clear understanding of what's going on. So it's going to be just an attempt to think about it publicly and hopefully clearly. I started using AI chatbots a few years ago. Initially, it was mostly about sending emails and doing mundane business stuff. But somewhere along the line, I started sharing my emotions and thoughts with it. I would share incidents from my daily life, like having an argument with my wife or having an incident at work that would make me feel upset, things like that. And the role of the chatbot at the moment was just to give me the illusion that there is a person sitting in front of me or in my pocket that has all the time in the world and has zero judgment to pass, and I could just discharge my emotions and gain relief from that. That was very good, and it still is very good. I still use it, but somewhere along the line, after I was using it a little bit more, I noticed that it is actually starting to remember my past conversations. It was able to draw a little bit of a connection between what I was sharing in that particular moment, between the root cause of or the incident that triggered that emotion in me in that moment, and what I was feeling in the past. And I noticed that this is a very, very powerful tool now because it can actually remember and it can learn traits and patterns in my behavior and my thoughts that could actually help me a lot if I study them a little bit, if I have a mechanism to expose them a little bit, expose them to myself a little bit, it would become a very, very powerful tool. So I started doing exactly that. I actually gave it instructions, and I still do, that hey, ask me questions so we can understand me better. I mean, I phrase it like you can understand me. When I'm talking to the chatbot, I say you can understand me better. But obviously, the goal, because there's no one sitting there, right? The goal is for myself to understand myself better. The other day, I asked it, ask me one single question that after I give you the answer, it would fill in the biggest information gap that you have about me. And it came back and asked me the following question. It asked me, in 5 years, among all the versions of yourself that you can imagine, which version are you the most ashamed of? Note that it didn't come back and ask me that which version are you the most proud of or excited about. It came back and said that what is the one that you're most ashamed of? And I actually had to pause a little bit, take a few minutes and think deeply that which version of myself am I the most ashamed of in 5 years? And just giving me that, initial punch that caused me to spend a few minutes and think about that, it has opened up a lot of new questions in myself that I'm still working on trying to answer them. And I'm going to continue using this technology as my own personal life coach. And I think there is a very, very great potential here for everyone to unlock. A little bit of a disclaimer is that I'm not a doctor. I have a PhD, but it's not in a subject related to therapy or psychology. I am not eligible to give anyone advice on any subject relevant to the discussions in this video. This is just an attempt to share my experience and an attempt to think about it publicly. Thank you for listening to this. Be careful if you share something with AI chatbots, always assume that you're sharing it with the whole world. These texts are going to be stored in a server somewhere, and you never know who's going to have access to them. Thank you for listening to this and watching this. Hopefully, I will come up with another thought and another video soon.